like to take just a couple minutes now and talk about drawings. You're going to deal with two types of drawings throughout the invention process. The first set of drawings that you're going to do are design drawings, and these drawings are used for filing a provisional patent or for a design patent. But more important than that, these are the ones that you're going to make your prototype off of. There are a couple types of drawings that you're going to go through. I'd like to take just a couple minutes now. I'd like to talk just a little bit about drawings. There are two sets of drawings that you're going to have to do throughout this process. The first set is going to be your basic design drawings. The second set is going to be your engineering drawings. The difference between these is the basic design drawings are going to show you the 3D drawings to show you the different angles, sizes of your project. These are actually going to be used for filing for a provisional patent, a design patent. But more important than that, these will be the drawings that you use to produce a prototype for your product. The fact that these will be in 3D, they're good for giving you a visual of what you're going to do. Engineering drawings are completely different than design drawings because they're really not about the look. They're about what the product is, what's it made of, how's it assembled, how's it put together. These are the drawings that you're actually going to have that you're going to submit to the engineering and the factories that are going to quote you for molds, for making the parts or sourcing the parts, assembling the project, for you to get a price of what engineering drawings are completely different than the basic design drawings. I'd like to talk about drawings. There are two separate types of drawings. There are basic design drawings, and then there are engineering drawings. Basic design drawings are really good for filing for a provisional patent, a design patent, and sometimes can be used to make a prototype of a product if the product is not very complex, doesn't have many working parts, and it's pretty simple. What I personally suggest is get into the engineering drawings. So if you got to have them anyway, the engineering drawings are good for the patents. They enable you to build a working prototype, not just a visual prototype. You have to have these to submit to factories to even find out what it costs to produce your product. The design drawings are actually the engineering stage where they truly develop your product and what it takes to make. Once you have the engineering drawings, the engineers in theory can go on the computers and start testing by theory. Does your product work? Doesn't work? What has to be changed? What's right? I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about drawings. There are basically two types of drawings that you're going to encounter throughout this invention process. The first set is going to be your basic design drawings, and they're basically done by a draftsman, and they show you the product by the different sides, angles, views, and you can actually get them in a 3D CAD drawing that you can put on the computer and move to show you what the product is. These drawings are used for filing for certain types of patents, and for a simple enough project you can actually build a prototype from them. What I recommend for most people that have a product is to truly go ahead and start with the engineering drawings. The engine what I'd like to do is talk about drawings. But before we talk about the different types of drawings, we're going to kind of revert back to the idea and having everything in your mind that you need to portray to the draftsman or the engineers. Once you start this process, these design drawings, which actually are good for filing the provisional or design patents, they're good for producing a prototype on some simpler projects. You need to truly understand your product and be able to get it out there. The engineering drawings are all about producing the product. These are the ones that you'll submit to the manufacturers to actually be able to give you quote and bids on what it costs to produce your product, what the molds cost or the castings cost, what is your factory setup cost. These are the figures that you'll have to put a business plan together. These engineering drawings are probably one of the most important stages that you're going to go through. Spend time there, do it right. Know your product in your mind as well as you can, because when you get into this process and you have an engineer doing these drawings, every time you make a change, it costs you money. They don't work for free. Throughout the process, I've learned that you get your design drawings done or you're working on them, and then when you actually see it, you say, no, that's not right, we got to change this shape, or we need to change that. Just remember, all these changes cost you money. Every time you make a change, the engineer's bill just got a little bigger. But at the same time, don't be afraid of that, because what you have to understand is you'd rather have the minor expenses in the front during the engineering, the testing, and the prototyping to make sure your product's built right, because the last thing that you can do is actually get to market and your product not function right, or there'll be a major problem with it and you have to recall product. One thing we can do at DMI is, because of the network of engineers we have and factories that we have in China, we will actually put together a flat rate price of engineering drawings for you based on the complexity of your project. If we do the design drawings, when you get them back, you'll receive the quote to build a prototype. If we build the prototype, when you receive it, you'll get a quote for the engineering drawings. With these engineering drawings, you'll actually get a quote at them. If you do your engineering drawings through DMI, when they come back, you'll actually have a quote for the molds, the castings, the assembly, the sourcing, the entire scope of your product from start to finish to packaging. You'll have prices for all of that. If you're like most of us, you're going to have to go out and actually raise money to get your invention done. So the design drawings are so essential, because you can't go to banks, you can't go to an investor, you can't go to a venture capitalist, you can't go to anybody to get money if you don't have a prototype engineering drawings done. If you don't know what it costs to make a product, how could you truly put together a business plan to take to a bank or an investor, your family or friends, wherever you may get the money? You really have to have these costs, and these costs cannot be obtained without the design drawings. That's why I stress personally do design drawings, engineering drawings all at one time.